The project starts with a player being in the entrance of the building. As you can see, it's really dark, all the lights are turned off, so the player feels a bit disoriented and like he doesn't know what to do. You walk in from the door that's opened up. You can look around. Then the first set of lights switches on. The player has to investigate the space and just look around, see what is there. There's a lot of different details I have included in the space, like the flyers and the signs, dirt on the signs to make it look more realistic, and on the walls. And the sign-in booth here. So the player has to explore the space until he figures out what he has to do. All doors are locked, but as you approach this screen that says first lecture will take place in the atrium, you can see that the atrium door is now open. As you walk in, the door behind you closes, so you can't exit anymore, but you cannot enter the atrium either. So the only option would be to go upstairs. That's why it's a little bit brighter than the rest of the environment. As you can see, I've included the pictures that are usually in that area as well. So the player goes upstairs, and as you go upstairs, you can hear the ground floor door cracking open. And now the door to the atrium is open. The second set of lights switches on. The moment you walk into the atrium, you can start hearing piano sounds, which are sounds that are usually heard in the space in real life. As you can see, I have included a lot of different details. Most of them were mentioned in the questionnaire, and others are based on my personal experience and items I'm emotionally connected to, such as the microphone cube, random musical instruments everywhere, different computers, the big screen, the selection of different chairs in the space, different cables, and all the computers, of course. So as you can see, this computer is lit up, and there's a message that says get out of here before it's too late, and to get out, log into a computer to get a password. This wine bottle was mentioned in one of the replies to the questionnaire as an object that somebody's emotionally attached to. That's why it's there to signify the first clue. So now as the player walks close to computers, this computer's rendering sign and login unsuccessful comes up. So the player has to sort of walk around until he finds a computer that's not rendering, basically. In the laptop screens, I have included a lot of Easter eggs, a lot of different elements that mean something to me or to the rest of the students. For example, this is my digital playgrounds project, and this is the My Ed homepage. So this computer says that all computers are rendering try upstairs computer, and that triggers the upstairs door to open. This screen has a Maya interface with a Maya quit unexpectedly sign, which a lot of students would relate to. More piano sounds. So the third set of lights switches on. The space is much brighter now. This is just to reflect everyone's emotion before every single submission. So now the player has to look around for clues and for what to do next. As downstairs here, also most computers are just rendering, so you can't access them. This is another project of mine for game design. I just included a lot of things that meant something to me. So the only screen that's not rendering is this one, and it's based here because a lot of people said that the Oculus cubicle was a space that they were emotionally attached to. So it made sense to me that the clue is in this space. So this screen says that the password was correct, the login was successful, and that before you exit you must find your student card. Because if you don't have your student card at all times, entry to the building will be prohibited. So the task is to find the student card. Those elements are interactive. You can interact with those boxes and create a mess. So are the chairs in the entrance lobby. I'll demonstrate that next time we're in the space. So the student card is in this area. It says press L to pick up object. Now that the object is picked up, the door to the entrance lobby is now open again. So we can go downstairs. Now you can see the images better. So when you walk in the space, the door slams and the fire extinguisher rolls towards the atrium, which is also this sign is lit up now, which is a clue that you have to go back to the atrium. But before I show you that, I'll just show you that these chairs are also interactive, and I did that just to demonstrate that the place is not always tidy and it doesn't look perfect. So by the end of the journey, every time you enter the room, the chairs are a little bit messier than they were the last time. So now you can go in the atrium again, and this time the atrium is covered. It's all covered with the textures of the big paintings, and that is done because a lot of people said that those paintings caused them anxiety and that they stressed them out and they were quite hostile. So as you walk in, the door behind you closes, so you're trapped in this space. The screen says a quote by Jules that says, "The summer project is like a 10,000 meters. Sustained slog, starts off slow, gets faster with a final kick." And then as you walk closer, it says that the lecture is being recorded and don't make a sound, with a flashing red light, which is just symbolizing the stress that we all go through and the tension. And as you walk past the screens, it says say hello to the online students, they're watching you, and all screens say the same. And now the side door is open and there's an exit sign above it, which means that you can go in. And you get teleported back to the beginning. Here you can see the please sign in and out book and some posters. Now it says that you have to press L to present your card, which you have. And now as you enter, you can see that the door to the corridor is open. You can enter the corridor, and here I've used the dolly zoom effect to make the player feel a bit disoriented and stressed and uneasy. So as you can see, when you reach the end of the corridor, you get teleported back to the beginning, but this time is much darker. And again, so if you keep going and ignore that door that opened up, get to the end and you get teleported back to the beginning, and that can happen endless times until you decide to go into this little room. So a lot of people said that this room causes them anxiety because it's really claustrophobic and dirty, and it was one of the most popular answers to the questionnaire about which space makes you feel uncomfortable in the building. So as a player walks in, he gets trapped in the space, and after 3 seconds the lights switch off as well, and the player gets trapped in this space with piano sounds being activated for 10 seconds, and then he gets teleported back to the beginning. So now you can go in the space again, all doors are open, and you can go to the basement. The moment you walk in, lights switch off, and that is done due to the fact that every single person said that they hate going to the basement because it's really underlit and really spooky and creepy. So for that reason, I've added a flickering light, and the whole room is really dark. And as you walk in it, a shadow appears in front of you. And that was done to represent the feeling that a lot of people mentioned, that you always feel like you're being watched and you're not alone in the building. Also, there's a recording in progress sign, just to show the use of the space. So after a bit, an exit sign pops up and you can exit the room. And now you're being redirected back to the lobby. No doors are open, and that stays like that for about 10 seconds until all sounds stop. And then the door to the atrium opens up. Then you walk to the atrium, and this time it's the renovated, refurbished atrium, which is all white and clean, and it's designed to look a bit like a heaven-like atmosphere. And that was done mostly to represent our whole journey as students, and that now that we got to the end of it, everything's brighter and cleaner and clearer, and just to leave the player with a happy and calm note as an ending point. And as you reach the end, it says new atrium, new you, and new adventures.